How's it going, guys? This is the Huddle, episode 3 of the new football season that's with us. We're going to be talking high school, college, and NFL football with y'all today. Obviously, your hosts are me, Sean, and
Demetrius.
so you want to talk about what you started last week with your articles?
Well, last week I wrote two articles. One about an Iowa football player named Derek Wiskoff and Gretna High School, which is located in Nebraska.
Yeah. What position do you play, by the way?
It said wide receiver, free safety, but I just put him as athlete because
He's all over the place.
he's all over the place. Pretty sure we're gonna have the highlights popping up right here.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, the very first two highlights he has is the first one is a ridiculous catch that he made over two defenders, and then the second clip is just him being center fielder and just coming down and just laying the wood. So that's a player that we should all look out for, and he's committed to Iowa.
Gotcha,
So we'll see him.
He's a senior right now. He's going to start next year. Well, obviously, we'll all keep an eye out for him next year. Any other players you have to mention? No, I got a couple.
And then for the Gretna High School, I was able to talk with Coach Mike Hale, and it was a very good conversation with him. Whenever I asked him what's their team motto and slogan, he said that it's never settle, and I think that's a good motto to have because I feel like if you get comfortable, once you get comfortable, I feel like that's when things start to sneak up on you because you was just unprepared, Like you start to settle down with the wins you have and the season you're having, and then that's when things could go wrong in an instant.
Yeah, obviously you never want to stop playing hard until the final whistle blows because there's always such thing as a comeback. You don't want that to happen to yourself. On the other hand, for me, I had two articles with two high schoolers, one from Nebraska and one from Texas. Both are linemen, but on opposite sides. The first one we have is Ashton Murphy. He goes Elkhorn South High School in Omaha, Nebraska. He's a DN for them, but he's played both sides, which in the article you can read about how, and maybe in some of the videos you'll see how he's been playing both sides and how that's benefited him in both positions. But as of now, he's a DN for Nebraska Cornhuskers for next year after he finishes his senior year up and heads over there. And then the other player that I had a chance to talk to last week was Ellis Davis. He goes to Prosper High School in Prosper, Texas. And he's a right tackle. He's a really tall man. He's I think he's 6'5", maybe an inch or two taller. Great size for a right tackle. Yeah, he's a big man. He uses that size and that athleticism to help protect his quarterback and help the run game as much as he can. Next year he'll be playing for Texas Tech, and obviously wish the best for both those guys as they continue their career. So obviously those are the high school players that we've gone over recently and had a chance to talk to, but now we want to talk about the next step, which is obviously what these guys are trying to get to the next level, college, where LSU, what a game.
Great game by Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors. The first half, they was just going crazy. I don't know what game plan they had to try to stop them, but it was not working at all.
I mean, obviously LSU put on a heck of a show. Jaden Daniels getting a total of 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 2 throwing, and just throwing lights out with I think it's 88% completion rating with 30 for 34, 361 yards. I think that's a record for the highest completion with that amount of yards in LSU school history, and I know you're beating Joe Burrow on a record.
You're doing something good.
You had a really good game. That's all I gotta say.
It looks like he's on a revenge tour from game 1.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're all actually hoping to see. He had the most rushing yards in the team with 64, and obviously you don't want your quarterback normally to have the most rushing yards, but when you do have a dual quarterback like Jaden Daniels, you're not going to complain when he does.
When you get a win 41-14, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean,
give him the ball more is what some people would say. And I'm glad that the conversation about him has dialed down since Game 1 against Florida. Everybody was talking, and now he's proven them all wrong, which is the best you can do. With the help of, obviously, his number one receiver, Malik Neighbors. Ooh, that game. I mean, 13 receptions is obviously a huge amount for any person to have in a game, but also coming in with 39 yards.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's
a lot. You can't ask for anything better than that. I mean, Malik Neighbors had double what Mississippi State had passing yards and receiving yards. They only had 107, so
he had more than that in the first half.
Yeah, and you can't ask for a better game when your players are producing at that high level. You have anything to add on the game?
It was a great game. Hopefully, we were able to carry the momentum that we had from the previous game to this upcoming Saturday against Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. And a couple of things are going to be different. Obviously, it'll be not an 11 a.m. game. It'll be a late night game in Tiger Stadium, where it's always hard to play these Tigers. And hopefully we continue this win streak and continue our process to see how far we can go this season.
One step closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for. After obviously a great weekend with the Tigers, we had to wait a full Sunday to watch the Saints play. It's always so brutal. I just want to see them back-to-back days. They're always the best 2 days of my life, seeing my two teams play every week, and the Saints coming around with another victory against the divisional rivals, the Panthers.
Was you impressed with the win?
I mean, a win is a win. That's the best saying you could possibly say about anything that happens in the NFL. Obviously, we got the win. We only won by 3, but the defense. We'll start off with the positives. The defense once again, played amazing. Can't ask for a better defensive game. They let a touchdown pass from Bryce Young to Adam Thielen. About 4 minutes left in the game. Probably less than 4 minutes left in the game. So it was a little end of the game touchdown. Before that, only let up a couple of touchdowns. Field goals. And they look fantastic as a unit, but the offense, on the other hand, we got some little work to do.
I think once the defense, I feel like for right now, the defense has to at least play up so the offense could at least catch up to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, as we saw, they started a little slow, a little iffy. But I think once the weeks go past and then Derek Carr starts to get more comfortable in the offense, I think that's when we start to see a more balanced Saints, not more just defense Saints, and then you got the offense a little trailing behind here. I think give a couple weeks, Derek Carr's gonna have a breakout game, because obviously you got Chris Olave, Michael Thomas.
Oh, those catches! Did you see those catches this weekend? The Chris Olave down the field, that bobbling catch. The Michael Thomas on the sidelines pulling his body in right before going out of bounds. Rashid Shaheed had a 40-yard catch. I mean, can't ask for these receivers to do a lot more. They're definitely helping this team out as much as they possibly can. And obviously, we all hope Alvin Kamara comes back strong this year. Just one more week after we play the Packers, and then he'll be back for week 4. I will say, though, kind of going off of what you're saying, chemistry, I feel like, is the biggest thing on the offense. It's going to take some time. You can't win games how we're winning in the playoffs. But with the help of our defense, it does help to have that defense. Derek Carr, it's his first year here. Trevor Penning, it's first year starting here. Hayden Hurst, got moved to guard instead of tackle. All these things are just new positions, getting familiarized with your teammates and everything. Once all that gets done, and hopefully good things will happen. That's all I hope for. Obviously, right now, if y'all can't see, I'm wearing my Michael Thomas 2019 Pro Bowl jersey. He's back, guys. That's all I gotta say. Is he's ready. He's ready to catch a lot of passes and do the good things out there this year, and I'm excited to see it.
You should have told me. I didn't get the memo that we were wearing jerseys. I would have put on my 49ers jersey if that's what we was doing. If that's what we was doing.
I'm really glad we don't play each other this year during the regular season. That's all I got to say.
I mean,
it's going to be a bad loss for y'all.
We'll see. Oh. I don't know about that one, but I'll give you that. What are some surprising teams that you didn't expect to be this? Oh well, be 2-0 at this point of the season.
2-0. I don't know about. I mean, very obviously, I'm going to say the Buccaneers. Baker's. I mean, Baker's leading them the victories right now. I mean, the division right now is a lot closer than everybody thought. I think a lot of people thought that the NFC South would be, the worst division of football, with all of us probably 0-2 right now. But if you look at all of our records, we have 3 teams that are 2-0 with us, the Falcons, and the Bucks, and then one team that's 0-2, which is the Panthers, which a lot of people thought they were going to win the division. So just this whole division right now is it's looking interesting with everything going on.
I think Baker is playing. It feels like he's playing with, like he has at this point. He really has nothing.
A chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he has a chip on his shoulder
to prove right now.
Like
everybody's counting him out year after year. You gotta keep on trying as hard as you can.
And then when you're playing on a team that, I think we all came into this season thinking they didn't have really high expectations. So when you have a chip on your shoulder, no one's really counting on you to win games. That's when you play your best. I mean, there's no expectations. There's no, you got to win this game to win the division. They're just out there just playing football. And I think that's where you are able to play your best, when you're not stressed about all the expectations that you've been put on.
Obviously, hopefully he plays well, but let's take a couple losses here and there and help out the Saints a little bit more to get that cushion. But those are 2 big surprises. My other big surprise of the weekend was what was it?
I got the Commanders
and then Broncos game. I mean, Sean Payton out and Denver now 0-2, but close comeback. They last play of the game, Russell Wilson throws a Hail Mary pass and gets caught for a touchdown, and all they needed is a 2-point conversion to continue the game, but sadly couldn't do it. So it ended that game 35-33. And a lot of people are talking about Sean Payton as a New Orleans fan, obviously, and they're saying, is Drew Brees the reason we were good? Obviously, I don't believe that. That's just a lot of talk, but that's definitely been a rough start for Sean Payton. He'll seem to try to improve the team that he's built around the Broncos at the moment.
Do you think they have the ability to bounce back from 0-2 to at least sneak in for a playoff spot? Because if you look at all the teams in the AFC, it's really hard to. You got to be almost perfect with all the great teams that are in that conference.
So I obviously think that the Broncos are in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, maybe the toughest division in the NFL, and I mean, taking losses, especially to teams that you think you should win to, is not something you want to do if you want to make the playoffs. You gotta, definitely turn around as soon as possible. But who knows if they can get the record at the end of the year to make it to the playoffs? I mean, that's how I'm feeling for the Bengals too. A little.
Ooh, he's getting a little.
Joe Burrow is
scary over
there. Starting off 0-2, and obviously they started off 0-2 last year and made the playoffs, but. No team really wants to start off 0-2. It's a tough start to come back from, and I mean the Bengals have been looking a little rusty here and there,
especially with your quarterback being somewhat injured. I wouldn't put him as fully injured, but he's
definitely not playing 100% right now. That's definitely for sure. But it's showing, and it's starting to make Bengals fans, Houday fans, nervous. And I know he's trying to bounce back as fast as he can, do all the rehabilitation that he needs to do to get himself better for the next game. That's all you can hope for.
And one last thing. Do you think the Cowboys are back?
We'll wait for the playoffs, obviously. The Cowboys have always been a great regular season team. I mean, Dak's playing really well right now. Them getting rid of Zeke and letting Tony Pollard kind of take over the backfield was obviously a great decision. He's been a great running back for them. The help of their pieces, their defense, obviously. Their defense is playing amazing. They have all the pieces, but we'll see how round 1 of the playoffs goes. Maybe round 2. Yeah.
I don't think they have had a good competition these last two games. I feel like it's really I feel like it's an overreaction because if you look at the two teams they played the Giants and the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, and I mean, the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, are they really? Are they even playoff contenders?
They're trying to find their footing right now. This is obviously not what they expected was going to happen in the season. So, you got to work with what you get. And I mean, the Browns are about to go through the same thing with horrible injury to Nick Chubb, and hope the best for him. But you don't expect that to happen, and now you got to plan around it and build your team around that, and hopefully try to figure out the win games.
That's all you got to do is try to figure out once a player go down, it's the next man up.
Exactly.
That's just how it goes in the NFL, But I guess that's it for this episode. Make sure y'all catch our episode on Gridiron Football USA. The link is right here and also at the bottom of the screen.
Too, yeah. I guess anything else is if y'all have any comments for us, questions for us, if you need fantasy football help, we'll try. We're not going to be correct every time, but I can say whatever. If y'all have questions about games, anything like that, feel free to ask, and we'll answer. We'll try to answer all the questions that are gifted to us and everything like that. Besides that, have a great rest of y'all's weekend. Have a great football weekend. Hopefully y'all's teams win, unless they're playing my teams.
Dang. Unless you're a Giants fan, then we'll see on Thursday night how that goes without Saquon.
Yeah, so with that being said, we'll be signing off now, and until next week.